Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here with you. I hope everybody is well. I hope you're doing something that you love doing. And thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy spending a little bit of time here. For those of you that are new, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here. We have a good time. And, I don't know you yet, maybe. But just happy to be here. I'm just happy to have you join us. Okay, so we are on day 5, December 5th, and today's prompt list is coffee and button card. And I am trying to keep this. You guys, it just drives me nuts because I love to talk. I love to visit with you. And I take way too much time. But I'm trying to do some things to speed it up. So I made from a button card, I made a little journal to go in my Christmas junk journal. Okay, so let's just take it apart and then we will make one. This is just super simple. And obviously, if you don't like pink, do it in whatever color that you do enjoy. I also love the traditional red and green. Yeah, okay, so supplies needed would be, you could have, if you have real button cards, you could absolutely use those, but chances are, my button cards, I do have a few real ones, but they're quite small and they have buttons on them, but not necessarily Christmassy buttons. So what I did is I went to my Etsy, and I had purchased and printed some time ago from Artie Mae's some button cards, and that's where these come from. So if you'll notice, they were the very same, so I used this for one. Hello, button card. I'm being very literal on this one, very sneaky, and trying to be super fast with this one because, as the month moves on and we get busier and busier, we maybe have to speed things up here a little bit. Okay, so I have these two that I can print out. Well, I did print them out, duh. And I think this one will go better. These are wonderful, but they're more vintage, not necessarily Christmassy. These also came with this. There are several, and I didn't print them all out. But I'm going to use this one, and I thought we might find a little image to cover the corset and do some kind of something a little more Christmassy there. So I have some other printables, and in all honesty, I don't remember exactly where I get all of these, but I found this and I'm loving it, and it has been coffee dyed. And this one has not, but I'm going to glue this on here to give it more body and to give it a backing. And then we will continue on. Okay, let me get rid of some of my mess and create more. How's that? So what are you up to today? Oh, goodness, guys, it just seems like from Thanksgiving, it has just gotten crazy busy. Crazy. But, yeah, just trying to get some things done up. We have most of our family lives in other states. We are closer to them than we were, but we still have to travel to visit most of them. Okay, so this is the top, and there's the bottom. So I double checked here to make sure that this would fit on here. And I am just laying that down, wanting to get a nice cover. And I don't need, you know, a lot of thickness on this. And this will curl a bit as it's drying. I'm burnishing, and then we'll trim around it to get it exactly the right size. And then we will go ahead and, let's see, did we do that right? We did, yay! I like it when I do it right. Okay, so let's get out my little quilting ruler and my straight edge. And if you don't have this kind of a tool, that's all perfectly fine. Just use your scissors or use a paper cutter. Whatever you have will be great. And like I said, if you don't, you may have some images of your own. You may have a different idea for the button card itself, which is totally fine. But we're just kind of having a little play here to make it simple and quick. Trim that a little bit skewampish. Is that a word? Skewampish? I don't know. I certainly couldn't spell it for you, but all right. So then what we will do, and this will, as it dries, it'll be easier to get the, you know, the folds, fold it the right way and have it lay nice and flat. And if I had the time, I would say, let's go ahead and let it dry. But I'm trying to get it done, hopefully, without having to stop the video, stop and come back, and stop and come back. Because every time I do that, it won't combine it on its own. I have to go in, and on my program, I have to combine it. And so it takes longer. Okay. We can, you can't see this, but what I'm doing is off the edge of my desk, I'm just kind of sort of folding it in to kind of counter that. Okay. How easy was that? And I will put the link to, if I can find it, to Artie Mae's, because it's been well over a year since I bought this. So I'm not 100% sure that I can give you this, but you can type in button cards on Etsy. Okay, so I am going to do, and that's with my, I have a paper rotary cutter and I have a fabric rotary cutter, and I had to label them so that I don't mess it up. Now what I'm trying to do here is to cut, I have this sari silk that has been dyed pink, and I am ripping that down the center to give me both sides, and that will cover this white. You can use, whatever you like. I would recommend that you, and you could do paper too, or you could do washi tape. That would also be great. But I would recommend that you do something thinnish, because you don't want, the wider it is, the more of your image it's going to take up. So there's that. There's that. And I am going to stitch mine just to give it good stability. You don't have to stitch it, or you can stitch it by hand. Or you can just glue it nicely. It's, you know, there's really no rule that says this or that, you know, that it has to be one way or the other. And if I were not going to stitch this, then I would want to put probably a Fabri-Tac glue. And the reason that I did the stick glue was because it's not going to bleed to my ribbon. Let's see, wrong. I want to cut fabric, so I'm just going to trim that off and trim this off. And we will go from there. Okie doke. Let me go ahead and stitch down here. I'll give you something pretty to look at. I'm trying to, you know, do it this way, so I apologize for making a little bit of noise, but this would be the point where you want to cover your ears or put it on mute for just a minute. And I know this is just out of sight here, and I'm doing a simple straight stitch. I'm not trying to get fancy with it. Not doing my normal straight stitch, zigzag straight stitch kind of thing. Just want to get it on here. As trimming my threads. Okie doke. So we're good with the cover. This is looking good. Now what we want to do is add, let's fold this in. I'm going to want to add some papers, and then I want to put some buttons here, and I will actually stitch those. I think that looks really pretty when, rather than they're glued. Well, actually no, these aren't, are they? They were stitched. They're just kind of hidden by the pattern here, but they can be glued on. But I like this look of the stitching to go through the holes. It makes it look more realistic. Okay, so let's get, and for this one, let's switch it up, and instead of doing, I just had that pink, was just a random sheet that had been kind of a drop cloth for something. Okay, so I'm going to make a little booklet from this piece of paper. So first of all, let's see if I fold it in half this way. Okay, that's going to be good. That I wanted to make sure that my paper is going to fit in my notebook. Okay. All right, and let's see, another thing I want to do here is to measure now. This is, we'll say 4 1/4. So here, well, and it doesn't matter, we'll go 4 1/4, and we will cut this across. Okay, and now this we will fold in half, what we have remaining, and that will assure us that we have even pages. So this we will tear off. Let me do it where the shadow is on the other side. And I'm not, you know, I'm just, it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're not going for perfect. But see, by doing this the same, then these pages all fit. Then I can get 6 pages in the little book. So that's more journaling. More journaling space, my friends. So now we will just fold it in, tap it in like so, and this is going to need to be trimmed off about, well, let's say 1 and a little more than 1/4. So we'll do that. Let's go. I forgot to open that one. It did push open eventually, but come on. What is going on here? Okay, there we got it. Finally. We will save that. And so it's super simple, guys, to just make fun little booklet for journaling. Okay, just from 1 sheet of paper. And then let's go ahead and trim these little corners. And I'm using the smallest setting. This is We Are Memory Keepers punch. It has 3 settings, the small, medium, and large. Okay, now, whoops, helps to put it in the right way. And I will go ahead and add a couple of paper clips just to kind of hold it in place while I stitch it. You could hand stitch this together. I'm going to go ahead and stitch on the sewing machine just to get her done. So, okay, here we go. Just 1 sec and I shall be back. I just want to get this done. And this will give me 2 then fun little journals that have been finished to go in my bigger journal. We'll go ahead and lay that back down. Okay, and then we will go ahead and just trim those threads off. And this isn't going to get a lot of, you know, action, if you will. So I didn't tie my threads off or back stitch. You certainly could. And here again, I'm just kind of folding this inward to counterbalance the other as it continues to dry. Okay, this is looking good. All right, so we want to put some buttons. Let me, I like the idea of doing the same. I have these I bought in an antique store, and I like them, and I think I want to keep with that same theme. Now, depending on, I can put more in this one, but I think before I do that, we want to find an image to cover the corset. So let's let's kind of take a peek-see at some things that I might have that could cover that. Let me bring over some of my, let's see, I've been using this, and that could be maybe fun. I don't know if it's too big, but let's give it a go. Okay, that we might have to trim off just a little bit, cut some of that off if we put that image on. Here's a small, let's work our way over to the holly here. All right. It's a pretty little sprig of holly. And I could put this here. If I do, I think I need to leave a bit of the background, because if I cut too much of it away, this may show through and look a little bit odd. I'm not sure. This is cute. Let's see. The stocking. That might work. It might. I'm not 100% sure. Let's try one more here. And then we'll just make a decision. And if you yell loud enough to where I can hear you, I will be happy to take your suggestion. Okay, let's see what we've got. We've got this little guy. I want to kind of have it sort of the size. Fussy cutting. In a perfect world, my images that need fussy cutting would all be done. They'd be done by some wonderful little elf or something. I don't know, but I wouldn't have to fussy cut anymore. Okay, so I could do it like right here, and I would have to cut off. Oh, and then that's going to make my buttons go away. I suppose I could just put like something there. Let's see. Let's just, I'm just, right now, I'm sort of just trying to see what I could maybe do to take up, to make that look like it matches. That's not bad. That is not bad, you guys. I could do that. Now, what about this one? That's going to hang down. You know what? I think we'll just go with this. We'll just go with this. And thank you for your help. Appreciate it. I don't know what made me think of this right now, but I don't know when this started either, but for some time now, when Dave and I have, been out and about, and whether it's, I don't know, it could be for any reason. Oftentimes, when it's time to go home, or, we're ready to leave or something, I will say, "Take me home, James." And he's like, "Yes, ma'am." And And his name isn't James, it's Dave. And the kids, one or two of them, at some point, they were like, "Why are you calling Dad James?" They just didn't get it. It's just like, I don't know, just something that we've heard or seen somewhere. And he knows what I'm talking about. And we just kind of fool around that way. Occasionally he'll be like, "My name isn't James." "Take me home." He does most of the driving. And I do most of the riding. Although I can and I do drive. But, yeah. Okay, so we will, I like that. That just, that takes away that, I don't know if these are going to come back. Were you with me? And I think it was today's or yesterday's video where I absolutely had a disaster. And anyway, that stuff fell on the floor, and I think it was my yesterday's video. It was like, why am I even doing this today? Nothing is working. Do you have those days? Please tell me I'm not alone in this process that sometimes, excuse me, you just feels like you got up on the wrong side of the bed or something, to where it's just like, really? Is this really happening with my day? Oh, now see, I'm really liking that, guys. That's really pretty. And obviously this could go for, it doesn't have to be Christmas, because, you've got the florals going on there. But that's what I'm using it for. All right, let's take a peek-see. And this is fun. We've got the candy cane and these evergreens coming out and poinsettias. Okay. Now we just need to do our buttons. Button, who's got the button? Did any of you ever play that game? It's button, who's got the button? And then you pass it around. Somebody has the button, and they go all around the room. You put your hands like this, and they put their hands and go through your two hands, and they may drop the button in your hand, or they may not. And then they go all around the circle to everybody that's playing. And then it's button, who's got the button? And then you guess who's got the button. And then it's the next person's turn to be up. Man, that's been a long time since I've played that. Okay, I think 3. What do you think? I like 3. Okay, let's do that. I'm trying to think less and just do. Let me get some, I've got some pink thread here. We'll just pull a bunch of this out. I actually should get my quilting thread out, because that would make it easier. Let's see, let's get a reasonable. Alrighty. I think I used to have some needle threaders. I do still have, for my machine, I have a little threading attachment. so that I don't have to figure it out myself. Okay, and then we just wrap it and pull it and make a little knot. Okay. And I think that we will just glue these on. So that will make it go faster. And the reason that I didn't pull that knot clear up was the knot would just have pulled through because I didn't make the knot that big. Okay. So I'm excited, you guys, to do the Roxy Creation, her stitching journal, the fabric journal. I think that's going to be fun. Oh, I maybe didn't do that so good. Let's do another knot. Tie another knot. Okay, then we can trim those off, and there's one. See how fun that looks when you get the... And actually, I really don't need to tie a knot, do I? Because if I'm doing this, then... And if you don't sew, or you don't, even have anything at all like this, then just glue it. That's okay. It certainly doesn't have to be just what I'm doing. You put your own spin on it. You put you into it. And that's one of the things that I think is kind of interesting that we really need to try to do when we're doing things like prompts from other people. And for those of you that watch the podcast with Barbara and Luise, the question was asked, do I like prompts? And really, not so much. I really don't. But I love Barbara and I love Luise. And so, yeah, I'll give it a go. And actually, Luise, I loved her answer because she was talking about how if she knows the person, then she does enjoy that because she knows the person and it's something that they like and enjoy, and so there's more of a personal connection with it, and so she enjoys doing that. And I thought, that's so fabulous. That's so insightful. So, yeah. So that's what I'm doing here is doing the prompt, because of these girls and enjoying it. Yeah. But I do think it's important that we stay who we are. Yeah, try different things, but don't sacrifice who you are. If you've come across a method or a something or other that you feel like just really, really works well for you, stay true to that. Says the philosopher. Not. What do I know? Don't pay any attention to me. Oh, golly. So now I'm just trying to tie a knot, not this little puppy, and we will have our 3 buttons stitched. And I will take the rest of that and put that in there. And now we can glue these on. And I think I want the Fabri-Tac for this because it's a little sturdier. Now let's get them positioned. Okay. All right, all right. So are you following the prompts? Are you working with them? Some of them? Any of them? None of them? What are you working on? Even if you're not doing the prompts, I sure appreciate you coming and supporting and watching. I love that. And I have to say that for those of you that are new, that was kind of a mess. Well, it'll dry clear, but that doesn't make me happy. That does not make me happy. Shoot. Anyway, I have really enjoyed reading your comments, and it's all in the process of getting to know each other, and so I love that. So for those of you who feel so inclined, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, but if you feel so inclined, I love it when you comment, and I read every comment, and I try to answer them. My channel's not so large at this stage of the game to where I can't do that. I recall Gail saying once that she literally spends 3 hours a day reading and responding to her comments, and I just think that's amazing. All right, it's coming along, guys. So fun. Let me kind of clear this off again. Got a bit of a mess going on here. All right, now I want to put, oh, whoops, that goes to this one. Let's put this back. And this is just kind of fun because you can, take this and do whatever you want with it. So let's get another little string. This is just baker's twine. Very easy to find in the States, at least. Now, I stitched those others, and so I don't think I don't want to attach this yet to one of these because I don't want it to pop out. Well, I really don't. Let's see. This is kind of a little risky here. Risky, not risque. Let's be very clear on that. Alrighty. Okay. I'm just going to kind of leave that here until that all dries, so that when that's done and completely dry and on there, then I'll wrap it around like I did on this one. Oh, and another thing I didn't do. Okay, back up. We're almost done. We were, I thought, and then we weren't. I just want to ink around my edges just to give it that wonderful finished look and feel. Love it, love it, love it. It just kind of vintages things. I don't know if vintages is a word, but I use it sometimes. Oh. Yeah. Alrighty. So there we go with that, and we will just do this real quickly here so that we can have this finished up as well. And when this is completely dry, then you can fold your little booklet out, and it will absolutely flatten down for you and not be all curled up. Alrighty. Okay, now we're done. And if you want to get an extra coffee dyeing in there when your book is done, and then you can go ahead and spritz it with coffee and add a little bit more. It already has that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to just quit saying I'm done until I'm really done. So I have this little set of hero stamps. I got mine in Hobby Lobby, I believe, or Michael's. And they just come in this, and they have all these different little fun little stamps. So I'm just going to stamp on each page. And this will just kind of give it a fun little finish. So you definitely get the Christmas vibe going on. And you have plenty of room to doodle or write or put some pictures or, you know, whatever really. Okay. Dare I say we're actually done? I think we are, guys. So here you go. Thank you for joining me. I've just enjoyed our time together, and I hope you have as well. I love you guys. Please have a fabulous day until next time. Bye-bye now.